Hello. I want to go to this three dot button, save on compile on success only, and jump to error node. We save our blueprints. I want to add a weapon to the character's hand so that we can swing it. Let's look at the weapons. So here's SM sword. We can get that. Let's create a folder called weapons. Let's drag this weapons pack into weapons. Might take a second. Or you can just drag the one that you used into weapons if you don't want to drag the whole pack in there. So I have the name of that copied in here. So that's a static mesh. We need to get a blueprint. We need an actor. So we spawn actors. I want to call this sword. Control S. But we can, yeah, I'll call this sword. I'm going to player character. Let's go into sword. Let's add a static mesh. Call it sword static mesh. Let's go to under static mesh in the details panel. Static mesh. Category. SM sword. There it is. So we need to spawn this at begin play. Let's delete this actor begin overlap. The event tick. We need a sequence. Sequences run simultaneously. I want to spawn actor from class. As you can see, there's no spawn mesh. The actor is sword. But we need a spawn transform. A transform is a location, a rotation, and a scale. Location is where it's at in the world. Rotation is the rotation of the object relative to its default root scene component, its root. And the scale is how large it is in the X, Y, and Z. So we want to put it in our hand. So we go to our viewport under the mesh and skeletal mesh asset category. We can see this is in game player character and UE4 mannequin mesh SK mannequin. So we can go there. Game player character UE4 mannequin mesh SK mannequin. We can go to the skeleton. Let's add a preview animation. Let's call it, is there an attack? Melee, primary attack A. Okay, that looks good. Let's scroll to about half. Let's go to here. Somewhere where you can see the sword. You just need to see the hand. Let's go to the hand R. Right click it, add a socket. Call it sword socket. I want F2 and Control C that. Where we input that is it needs to be just like this. It needs to be, I think it's case sensitive. I don't I always just copy it. Add a preview asset. We need SM sword. That's our sword. So it doesn't look right. So let's rotate it. Let's actually get sword. Is there sword idle? Let's get some sort of idle. Let's get this idle. And place this sword. Slow down our camera speed. And get this sword in their hand, in our hand. Press save. Let's go to the player character, event graph. I want to get this socket transform. We need to transform. We created the socket. It's on our skeletal mesh. The skeletal mesh has some place to put in a skeletal mesh asset. In the skeletal mesh asset, there's bones that we created a socket on. This won't work here. This is a preview asset. We can remove all attached assets, and it goes away. That wouldn't have spawned that in our hand. I want to type socket. Socket bone name. Here's get socket transform. And it comes with player skeletal mesh. We know that our socket name is sword socket. We can split this, or we can combine this again. Spawn, transform, collision, handling override. I want it to always spawn. It's my weapon. It's important. Let's look what happens if we just spawn it into our hand. There it is. It worked. Oh no. So we want to hold on to that. We want to attach it. Attach actor to component. The actor, as you can see, this is attempts to spawn a new actor, and this player skeletal mesh is under the components panel. So I want to put this skeletal mesh as the component in the sword socket. Snap the target, keep world, and let's see what happens now. We keep a hold of it. We're moving. We have the sword. But if I press with this specific pack, if I'm pressing D right now, as you can see, I'm moving in the A direction. I'm moving left while I'm pressing D. That's not how our controls are. So this is a bug. I want to go to sword, the static mesh. I want to type collision. This is blocking all dynamic. It's actually blocking the character. I want this to have no collision. I do not want to be able to step up on it. And I don't want it to generate overlap events. Let's try this now. I'm going to press W, and we're moving right again. Here's A, here's W, here's A, here's D. Sorry. Okay. Good job. We can close the mannequin for now. Close the skeleton. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.